Family members believe the woman and her toddler daughter found dead in a Fort Worth field Tuesday died from hypothermia. Now, this is the first time anyone has talked about some of the circumstances surrounding the mysterious deaths of 27-year-old Lindsay Gardner and 13-month-old Haley. Their naked bodies were found near their crashed car, and Fort Worth police say there were no signs of trauma or foul play. Fox 4's Brandon Todd is in Fort Worth, where family and friends gathered to remember the mother and daughter. Brandon.
Right, Clarice, this vigil tonight largely attended by moms, part of a moms group that Lindsay Gardner belonged to. It's right across the street from the field where she and her one-year-old daughter were found dead Tuesday. And as we begin to talk to her relatives, they're providing a clearer picture of what may have happened to this young mom and her little daughter.
But the medical examiner, he has opined that it could really be something as off the wall as hypothermia.
The uncle of 27-year-old Lindsay Gardner says it's likely his niece was stranded, injured, and stuck in her wrecked car all night long. He says she sent a text to her parents Monday night that she was headed over to their house. She never showed up. Tuesday morning, about a half hour after sunrise, her car was found smashed into a tree on the edge of a field near Alta Mesa and Bryant Irvin, the airbags deployed. The low that night was just below freezing. Her body was found about 500 feet away, naked, laying on top of her one-year-old daughter Haley, who also was not clothed.
A nurse called me today from California saying that they've run into cases where someone gets so in hypothermia and they get distraught and they can't figure out what they're doing, and they begin to take their clothes off because it feels like they're burning rather than freezing.
But the bizarre circumstances surrounding the death of Gardner and her daughter were briefly put aside tonight as a group of moms remembered her at a candlelight vigil.
We're just going to really miss her presence in the group. A lot of us, or many women in the group, are really grieving for her.
They recalled how encouraging Lindsay was, always telling them to look on the bright side. Then Lindsay's husband, Anthony, spoke.
I just loved them very much. They were the best thing that ever happened to me.
Fort Worth police say there were no obvious signs of trauma on the bodies and do not suspect foul play, so it will be up to the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. At Travis Avenue Baptist Church, where Lindsay was a preschool teacher, a mural she painted is in the hallway of the children's ministry wing in a tribute to her artistic talent and love of painting.
The faces of those children on it are faces of her nephews and nieces, and so she was very artistic and brought that creativity into the classroom. Very excited about her art. That was her passion in life.
And of course, the uncle reiterated that the hypothermia is right now a working theory. The police investigation is not finished yet, and the medical examiner still has toxicology tests, Clarice, that still have not come back yet.
I'd never heard that possible explanation for hypothermia, so thank you for sharing that, Brandon. Of course, it is preliminary right now, but you said that Lindsay might have been headed to her parents' house where she crashed, but isn't the crash the other way from where their house is?
Right, it's not necessarily on the way to the parents' house, but the uncle was telling us that Lindsay would frequently drive around with her young daughter to try and calm her down. A lot of parents end up doing that. I know I did. You try and drive them around, it calms them, it puts them to sleep, and they say she would frequently do that, and whether she was doing that is not clear, and what caused her to go off the road is not clear, and that's just what's frustrating for a lot of her friends and family. It's just there's so much they still don't know about all this, Clarice.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll be getting those answers very soon, Brandon. Thank you.